Hello everyone. Welcome to the 12th session of Unit 3 called Software Architecture and Planning a Software Project of the course Software Engineering, having the course code 15CS51T for the program Diploma in Computer Science and Engineering from the Department of Collegiate and Technical Education, Government of Karnataka. The agenda of this session is to discuss about the project schedule, detailed scheduling, an example for overall schedule, a portion of the detailed schedule, benefits of project scheduling, and tips for creating a solid project schedule. Before we start the current session, let's have a brief recap of the previous session wherein we discussed about project monitoring plan, measurements, project monitoring and tracking. Project planning forms the foundation of project management. Monitoring the project requires measurements to be made to assess the situation of a project. We must plan carefully regarding what to measure, when to measure, and how to measure. Therefore, measurement planning is a key element in project planning. Planning about how to analyze and report measured data is essential as well. The basic purpose of measurements in a project is to provide data for project management. Measurements helps in monitoring and controlling the project effectively for achieving the project goals. The basic measurements that are needed are size, effort, schedule, and defects for the sake of monitoring the current state of the project. A project can be monitored at different levels. The three main levels of monitoring are activity level, status reporting, and milestone analysis. Activity level monitoring ensures that each activity in the detailed schedule has been done properly and within time. Daily monitoring can be done by the project manager through daily project team meetings or by checking the status of all the tasks scheduled to be completed on that day. A completed task is often marked as 100% complete in detailed schedule. Status reports are often prepared on a weekly basis to check what has happened and what needs to be done. Status reports typically contain a summary of the activities successfully completed since the last status report, any activities that have been delayed, any issues in the project that need attention, and if everything is in place for the next week. The milestone analysis is done at each milestone or every few weeks. Milestone analysis includes analysis of actual versus estimated effort and schedule. If the deviation is significant, it may imply that the project may run into trouble and might not meet its objectives. This requires the project manager to understand the reasons for the variation and to take necessary corrective and preventive actions. Milestone analysis may also report the defects found by different quality control tasks and the number of defects that have been fixed. Now let's try to understand what is scheduling in project management. Scheduling in project management is a listing of activities, deliverables, and milestones within a project. A schedule also usually includes the planned start and finish date, duration, and resources assigned to each activity. Effective project scheduling is a critical component of successful time management. In fact, when people discuss the processes for building a schedule, they are usually referring to the processes of time management, like planning schedule management, defining project activities, sequencing activities, estimating resources, estimating durations, and developing the project schedule. There are three main types of schedules. First, master project schedule. A master schedule tends to be a simplified list of tasks with a timeline or project calendar. Second one is milestone schedule or summary schedule. This type of schedule tracks major milestones and key deliverables, but not every task required to complete the project. And the third type of schedule is a detailed project schedule. This is the most thorough project schedule as it identifies and tracks every project activity. If you have a complex, large or lengthy project, it's important to have a detailed project schedule to help track everything. The most common form of project schedule is a Gantt chart. Both a milestone schedule and a detailed project schedule can be created as a Gantt chart. When choosing a scheduling software, looking for scheduling tools that allow you to create different views from the same schedule is important. If you create a detailed schedule with milestones as a Gantt chart, make sure it can be summarized up to that level for a simpler view that can be easily shared with the team or the stakeholders. This gives the ability to present the same schedule in different formats depending on the level of details required and the target audience. Now let's try to understand what is detailed scheduling. Project scheduling is done at two levels. First, the overall schedule is prepared and then the detailed schedule is prepared. A detailed schedule of what to do and when to do has to be developed such that following this plan will lead to delivering the software with expected quality and within cost and schedule. Now this detailed action plan, if followed, will lead to a successful project. The detailed plan assigns work items to individual team members, whereas the overall planning document is typically prepared at the start of the project and is relatively static. The detailed plan is a dynamic document that reflects the current plan of the project. The major phases identified during effort and schedule estimation for the detailed schedule are divided into small schedulable activities in a hierarchical manner. For example, the detailed design phase can be broken into tasks for developing the detailed design for each module, review of each detailed design, fixing of defects found, and so on. For each detailed task, the project manager estimates the time required to complete it and assigns a suitable resource so that the overall schedule is met and the overall effort also matches. In addition to the engineering tasks, QC tasks of the quality plan, the monitoring activities of the monitoring plan, and the risk mitigation activities should also be scheduled. The project manager determines the effort for the overall task from the detailed schedule and checks it against the effort estimates at each level of refinement. If this detailed schedule is not consistent with the overall schedule and effort estimates, the detailed schedule must be changed. If it is found that the best detailed schedule cannot match the milestone effort and schedule, then the earlier estimates must be revised. Thus, scheduling is an iterative process. Generally, the project manager refines the task to a level so that the lowest level activity can be scheduled to occupy no more than a few days from a single resource. Activities like project management, coordination, database management, and configuration management may also be listed in the schedule, even though they are ongoing tasks rather than schedulable activities. They are often included in the project schedule as they consume resources. Tools like Microsoft Project or a spreadsheet can be used for detailed scheduling. Project manager specifies the effort, duration, start date, end date, and resources for each lowest level activity. Dependencies between activities due to an inherent dependency or to a resource related dependency may also be specified. From these tools, the overall effort and schedule of higher level tasks can be determined. A detailed project schedule is never static, as the actual progress in the project may be different from what was planned. Changes may be needed in the detailed schedule. Because newer tasks are added in response to change requests or because of other unforeseen situations, changes are done as and when the need arises. During the project, if plans must be changed and additional activities must be done after the decision is made, the changes must be reflected in the detailed schedule, as this reflects the tasks actually planned to be performed. The final schedule, frequently maintained using some suitable tool, is often the most live project plan document. Therefore, the activities and schedule are tracked using detailed schedule plan. Overall project planning decides only number of resources, whereas detailed scheduling is done effectively after assigning actual people to the task. Let us consider an example for overall schedule, which is also called as high level schedule. Here let us consider the project developed for ACIC Corporation, which is a multi-billion dollar financial institution. To keep up with the times, several years ago, it started slowly web enabling its applications, and it wanted to start an online service for opening and tracking accounts. Because Infosys had successfully built some e-services for ACIC earlier in a project called Synergy, ACIC employed Infosys to analyze the problem. This work was executed in time and material mode. That is, the customer paid for the effort spent by Infosys in doing the analysis. Based on the analysis output, Infosys made a successful bid for the web project, giving rise to the ACIC case study. The project successfully released the new service in time, and the software has been in operation without any problem. The overall effort estimates for this project is 501 person days, or about 24 person months. This estimation was done using the bottom-up approach. The customer gave approximately 5.5 months to finish the project. Because this is more than the square root of the effort in person months, this schedule was accepted. Hence, these define the effort and schedule goals of the project, as you can see here in the table. The milestones are determined by using the effort estimates for the phases and an estimate of the number of resources available. The table here shows the high-level schedule of the project. This project uses the rational unified process in which initial requirement and design is done in two iterations, which are specified as elaboration iteration 1 and elaboration iteration 2. And the development is done in 3 iterations, which are construction iteration 1, construction iteration 2 and construction iteration 3. The overall project duration with these milestones is 140 days. As you can see here in the table, the first activity is project initiation, which requires 33.78 days, and effort required for this task is 24.2% days, and the start date is 4th May 2000 and the end date is 23rd June 2000. Similarly, for all the other tasks, time required, effort required, start and finish dates are specified in the table. The overall project planning has produced this high-level schedule. This high-level schedule is not suitable for assigning resources and detailed planning. For detailed scheduling, these tasks are divided into schedulable activities. This detailed schedule also serves as a checklist of tasks for the project. This task of dividing of top-level activities is not done fully at the start, but rather takes place many times during the project. A part of detailed schedule is as shown in the table here. As you can see, for the construction iteration 1 phase of the project, the table represents the schedulable activities. For each activity, the table specifies the activity by a short name, the module to which the activity belongs, and the effort. For each task, how much is completed, that is the progress, is given in the percentage complete column. This information is used for activity tracking. The detailed schedule also specifies the resources to which the task is assigned, which is specified by initials of the person. Sometimes the predecessors of the activity, that is the activities upon which the task depends, are also specified. This information helps in determining the critical path and the critical resources. This project finally had a total of about 325 schedulable tasks. As you can see here in the table, the effort required for requirements task is 1.33 days, and the task starts on 10th of July 2000 and ends on 21st July 2000. The progress of the task is specified as 100% done. and the resources to whom task is assigned are BB and BJ. Similarly, the table shows every other schedulable task of the phase construction iteration 1. Now let's have a look at the benefits of project scheduling in project management. Project scheduling provides the following benefits. Project scheduling assists with tracking, reporting, and communicating the progress of the project. Project scheduling ensures everyone is on the same page as far as tasks, dependencies, and deadlines are concerned. It helps highlighting issues and concerns such as lack of resources, etc. Project scheduling also helps identify task relationships, as well as project scheduling can be used to monitor progress and identify issues, if any, early in the project development process. Let's have a look at some of the tips which can be used for creating a solid project schedule. The time management processes identified earlier are the key steps to creating a project schedule. However, keeping these tips in mind to make sure the schedule is realistic helps in creating a good solid project schedule. You have to get inputs from the stakeholders, and you can make sure that you do not create your schedule in isolation. It's important to use your team and other stakeholders to identify tasks, resources, dependencies, and durations. You can reference past projects. Looking at previous projects with similar scope and requirements can help create realistic estimates and ensure you haven't forgotten any tasks. You can include project milestones. Milestones are events or markers that stand for an important point in your project. They are useful for creating a summary schedule, reporting to executives, and identifying problems early. Some of the milestone examples are project kickoff, design approvals, completion of requirements, product implementation, project closeout, etc. You can consider any non-work time, for example, making sure vacations and holidays are reflected in the schedule will help you in not assuming people will be working when they are actually not. You can define the critical path on your project. Identifying your project's critical path allows you to prioritize and allocate resources to the most important tasks in the project. You can record scheduling assumptions. Writing down the logic behind your scheduling predictions. For example, if you assume it will only take 10 hours to complete a task because you are going to have a senior engineer. That way, if you end up with a junior engineer, you can understand and explain why it took twice as long as planned. You have to keep risks in mind. Identifying and documenting any factors that poses a risk to staying on schedule will help your risk management efforts. Now let us have a look at some of the multiple choice questions. Question number 1. Detailed scheduling. 1. Assigns work items to individual team members. 2. Is a static document. 3. Includes QC tasks of the quality plan. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? Your options are option A, 2 and 3 only, option B, 1 and 3 only, option C, 1 only, option D, 2 only. So do you know the correct answer for this question? Yes, the correct answer for this question is option B, that is 1 and 3 only. Because detailed scheduling assigns work items to individual team members as well as it includes QC tasks of the quality plan. The next question is detailed scheduling. 1. Is an iterative process. 2. Helps in delivering the software with expected quality. 3. Must be consistent with the overall schedule. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? Your options are option A, 1 and 2 only, option B, 1 and 3 only, option C, 2 and 3 only, option D, all of the above. What is the correct answer for this question? Yes, the correct answer for this question is option D, all of the above. Detailed scheduling is an iterative process which helps in delivering the software with expected quality, and it has to be consistent with the overall schedule. Let's have a look at the next question. Detailed schedule includes 1. Effort, duration, start date, end date, and resources for lowest level activity. 2. Dependencies between activities. 3. Coding guidelines. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? Your options are option A, 2 and 3 only, option B, 1 and 2 only, option C, 1 and 3 only, option D, all of the above. What is the correct answer for this one? Yes, the correct answer for this question is option B, that is 1 and 2 only, because detailed schedule includes effort, duration, start date, end date, and resources for each of the lowest level activities, and it also includes dependencies between activities, but it does not have any specification about the coding guidelines. Let's have a look at the next question. A project manager always completes the detailed schedule of the entire project all at once at the start of the project. Your options for this is option A false, option B true. What is the correct answer for this one? Yes, the correct answer for this is option A false. That is, the statement given here is false because a project manager usually never completes the detailed schedule all at once at the start of the project. Let's have a look at the next question. The detailed schedule may also include project management, database management, and configuration management activities. Your options are option A false, option B true. What is the correct answer here? Yes, the correct answer here is option B true. That is, the above stated statement is correct. The next question is, detailed scheduling is done 1. After assigning actual people to the task. 2. To reflect the tasks actually planned to be performed. 3. Usually by the project manager. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? Your options are option A 2 and 3 only, option B 1 and 2 only, option C 2 only, option D all of the above. Do you know the correct answer here? Yes, the correct answer for this question is option D. That is all of the above, because detailed scheduling is done after assigning actual people to the task in order to reflect the task actually planned to be performed, and this is usually done by the project manager. Let's have a look at the next question now. The question is, detailed scheduling is dynamic because as the actual progress in the project may be different from what was planned, changes may be needed in the detailed schedule, remains the same throughout the project management, newer tasks are added in response to change requests or because of other unforeseen situations. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? Your options are option A 1 only, option B 3 only, option C 1 and 3 only, option D 2 and 3 only. What is the correct answer here? Yes, the correct answer here is option C 1 and 3 only. That is, detailed scheduling is dynamic because the actual progress in the project may be different from what was planned, and hence changes may be needed in the detailed schedule. And since newer tasks are added in response to change requests or because of other unforeseen situations, it becomes dynamic. The answers for the multiple choice questions asked here are as shown here. Now let's have a brief recap of what we have discussed in the current session. Here we have discussed about the detailed schedule, which plays a very important role in project management as it leads to delivering the software with expected quality and within cost and schedule. Detailed schedule includes each and every activity to be performed. Project manager specifies the effort, duration, start date, end date, and resources for each of the lowest level activities in the detailed schedule. Tools like Microsoft Project or a spreadsheet can be used for detailed scheduling. The source of reference used for preparing this session is as shown here. Thank you everyone.